Hey guys, I am back. I decided I was going to do a whole segment about tales from the jump seat. Either these are just stories that have happened to me that are funny or sad or life changing. It's just, I was going to do a segment called Tales from the Jump Seat. It's just, we flight attendants share all our little stories of what have happened. And so I thought it'd be cool. It'd be nice to share it with you guys. I'm back to recording on my camera. So I'm back sitting at my desk. Remember I told you the last few times I've been laying in the bed. But I'm going to do the Tales from the Jump Seat. I'm going to do a few stories and then also some other things. So this first story is, if you've seen the title, it's called The Time I Was Called a Bitch Over a Mimosa. All right, here's how it went. I was in Cancun for a layover, and the next morning we got up to go back to Phoenix. So I'm doing pre-departure beverages. We're not supposed to serve liquor during pre-departure beverages whenever we're in another country. And then also, I didn't have any champagne to make mimosas in the first place. So this lady gets on. She has the attitude with me when she gets on. And then her and her boo sit down, and he's like, "Can I get a Disaronno and coffee?" And I was like, "Well, I can't serve liquor while we're on the ground, but I can get you one more in there." He was like, "Cool." She was like, "So that doesn't mean I'm not getting my mimosa?" And I'm like, "No, ma'am, I can't serve you any mimosas. I don't have champagne either." So I apologize for that. And I was like, "I can get you some orange juice or anything else you would like." So she just shoots me off. And I was like, "Okay, whatever." You always run into people like this in any job, so you just have to be able to brush it off. So we do our demo, get everything going, we're pushing back. We get on the runway, and then we get a call that we have to go back to the gate. Something's wrong with the plane. So we go back to the gate and we sit and we wait. And there's like 7 mechanics on there from the Cancun airport just standing around. So if you've been on a plane, you know that first walkway, that's our galley. Just imagine me, my 2 other crew members, the pilots, and then these 6 people just standing here on their phones talking. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so crowded. And me and my crew were sitting here trying to figure things out, because if we didn't get out soon, our pilots were going to time out, meaning that we were going to be stuck. And I did not want to be stuck in Mexico. I didn't care if it was Cancun or not. So we're all like, what are we going to do? Just another, you're in Mexico. You know how cell phones hit you with it. If you use your phone here, we're going to charge you $500,000 per minute. So I was like, okay, what are we going to do? So we decide we had been on the we had been sitting there for a while with the passengers, and it was really, really hot, and they did not have portable air, meaning the air conditioner from the ground did not work. So people are sweating, so we just decided to go ahead and do a water service. So we go through the cabin with water, getting everybody water, make sure they're okay, and then we just go back to try to figure things out. So all of a sudden, the lady within the couple starts asking questions like, when the fuck are we gonna get out of here? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, And at this very moment, it's like you have to pull it in, like you have to realize you're at work. So I'm like, I'm at work. So it was at that moment, her maid, no, they weren't married, they didn't have the same last name. Neither one of them had on rings. And he was looking like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And she just was sitting there going off. And before I could even say anything, a passenger behind her was like, how dare you call her out of her name? She's doing her job. She was like, she's up there stuck in the heat with those people who are just standing there doing nothing. And she was like, she's trying to get home just as much as we are. And so her and her husband start bickering with the lady who called me out of my name. It was so weird. It's just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I literally looks like a deer in headlights for a moment. Then finally my FO peeps out and he was like, she's like, we're deplaning, everybody get off. Everybody's getting off. So they bring the air stairs back. Dude she was with chunked her the deuces so fast because he was so embarrassed. He grabbed his stuff, he grabbed his rollerboard, he took the last swig of his orange juice and was down them air stairs. This homegirl had 2 bags, our little purse, everything, and he just, her rollerboard, everything, he just left her there to fend for herself because he was so embarrassed. So we are stuck in customs for maybe an hour and a half, just standing waiting to see if we're gonna go back on the plane or if we're gonna go back in the country of Mexico. So we have to go back in Mexico. And we're waiting on our little cards to show, you know, that we were admitted in on this flight, and our departing flight was canceled. So we're all waiting, and she's just like staring at me like, and my crew is just laughing. They're like, "You gonna get shanked?" I'm like, over a mimosa. So we get out. We were able to go back in the airport. So we're sitting in the airport and we finally get a hold of our operations department, and they're like, "We've been trying to call you. How are you trying to call me and I'm in Mexico? Seriously, how are you trying to call me and I'm in Mexico? Who were you trying to call? Did you call the airport to contact the gate? Because you didn't call me." And they're like, "Well, your pilot's timed out. They have to stay the night. And if you guys want to stay, you'll time out because we can either deadhead you home or you can stay the night and then come back on the flight in the morning." What they did not tell us is that the plane that was needed, that was supposed to be fixed, which was our plane, did not get the part, so it wasn't going to be out in the morning. So of course we volunteered to deadhead and go over our duty day so we can go home. So we're just sitting in the airport waiting to get ready to go back to Phoenix, and the plane comes and everybody's deplaning. So they call us to board, and guess who's standing at the gate agent's thing trying to get on the next flight? That lovely lady. And I have my ticket and I scan in and I roll down the jet bridge and I waved to her goodbye, because in all reality I've been called a bitch for far worse. I've been called a bitch for far less, but it really was like, a mimosa? Really, lady? You really need cheap champagne and orange juice that bad? But moral of the story is, everybody will try to get under your skin, whether it's for mimosa, whether it's for them having to check their bag. It's always going to be something that's going to get you called something. You just have to literally, like Elsa, let it go. Like, you just have to let it go, because there's things that are going to be far worse than being called a bitch for a mimosa. So, all right, guys, that is the end of my story. It's just funny. I always look back on that story and be like, and whenever I got on the plane, I was just petty, just super petty, like, bye boo, bye, why you stuck here? Going home. Yes. And that's just how I feel about the situation. It was like literally instant karma. And that was amazing because I've never seen karma work so fast. But that is about it, you guys. If you have any questions or anything going on or wondering, because I know a bunch of airlines are hiring right now, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you want to hear any other Jumpseat stories, I'll probably do them once a week. And just let me know. And I love you guys. Bye. Stay fly.